Buckle up for another episode of Ghost Facers, a supernatural rewatch podcast. My name is Richard, and sitting shotgun as always is my brother in podcasting, Reed.
I've got all these signs. We've got to let people know when stuff's radioactive. Where can I put this?
Oh my god!
Got a lot of these biohazard signs and other signs.
This is kind of crazy, but you know that there's a factory across the street.
Sorry, there's no time for this. I just got here, but my mirror shop just got broken into, and everything got broken onto.
Mr. Yamashiro?
It's me, Mr. Yamashiro.
Oh no, I mean, I can probably help you solve this problem, but...
Hey, listen, we're getting pretty worked up here. Is anybody hungry? Because we could go to Universal Donaire.
I mean...
my store that I only operate daytime because I have a nighttime blood delivery
I was going to say, I'm pretty hungry, but I've got a need for some blood right now.
Well, you got to wait until, at least after 7.
Okay, well, what time is it right now, then?
I think it's time to get into it.
Ghost Facers! We're facing ghosts! We're others, we're not! We're ghosts! Ghost Facers! Stay in the kitchen when the kitchen gets hot! Ghost Facers! We're facing nightmare! We're facing dread! Ghost Facers! We're facing faceless! We're facing dead!
Welcome to Ghost Facers. Today we're discussing Season 8, Episode 22.
Baby.
I'm feeling 22.
Yeah, I don't know about you. It's Season 8, Episode 22.
Yeah. Clip show.
Everything won't be all right.
No. And I'm
Crowley's
next
coming
to you.
after you.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know about me.
You know, I do know, though, is we got a review.
But we got a review.
Yeah. And if Chiefs don't win, then the fantasy is over.
Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I mean, you could see by the way that Travis Kelce is reacting right now.
Sure. I did see the clip of him screaming at
the coach,
Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Put me back in.
Yeah. He I think it means a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Taylor said, if I don't win, I don't come home. So.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't have to.
Yeah, she's
got gigs.
Look, this is a
she
house.
Had to fly all the way from fucking Tokyo. He better win.
This house, people come home with gold.
Yeah, at least.
Yes, bare minimum. Yeah. All right, this review.
I could have any just random football.
Yeah, it's true. Howdy, boys.
Wait, what voice was that?
Howdy, boys.
Oh yeah, howdy, boys. No, I don't know what that was.
Terrifying.
That was nothing. Yeah.
Howdy, boys.
Oh. Howdy, boys.
What is that?
I don't know.
You fucking Smaug?
Yeah. Burglar. Yeah.
How's your hammer hanging?
Thank you.
Is that a thing to say thank you?
I thought I said
Is that a
good.
response to how's your hanger?
I just wanted to say good thank you.
How's your hammer hanging? Thank you. It's hanging thank you?
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's hanging thank you. I don't usually use my email, so I hope I'm sending this right. I'm a window cleaner in Middle Tennessee. So,
that's the name of the town? The town's called Middle, or he just means in the middle of Tennessee?
It says in Middle Tennessee, and what makes it more confusing is that that middle is lowercase.
No,
so I'm
guessing
guessing
it's less confusing. I think that's the middle of.
Sure.
It'd be more confusing if it was Middle Tennessee, but no comma.
Fair. So I've got a shit ton of time on my hands at work, and y'all keep me cackling.
Was your daddy a coal miner? Did he smell of the land?
Is this because of Tennessee?
Well, yeah, just, that.
Oh, you're just painting a picture.
That whole area, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Although, the quote I used is about West Virginia, so don't mind me. I'll be over here.
Like a cat in a hot tin roof?
Well, no, I was doing Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, I thought you were doing a Tennessee Williams thing.
No, that accent you're trying so desperately to hide. That's pure West Virginia.
By the way, fucking... that new season of True Detective is so fucking good.
Yeah?
Jodie Foster.
I haven't seen it yet, but that's not surprising, though.
So goddamn good. So I've got a shit ton of time on my hands at work, and y'all keep me cackling through the day. Thank you so much for that. You guys are amazing. I found your podcast earlier in 2022, and I've been binge listening on and off since then, and I can honestly say it's one of the best out there.
Oh, thank you.
It's one of the few that haven't said I came from the other podcast.
That's
I just
true.
I'm so used to hearing it.
Yeah. Huh. Do you know what? Actually, go over there. Come on back.
I
Yeah.
need you to appreciate what you've got.
Yeah. As Joni Mitchell said, you don't know what you got till it's gone.
Yeah, you know what? Let's
So for the next 4 weeks, no episodes.
you know what? No, let's do like you get a hall pass 1 week just so you understand what you've got.
Yeah. If this will make you happy,
See
then,
other podcasts.
then just for 1 week you can listen to the other one. And,
Yeah, you can see other podcasts.
and I won't hold that against you.
That's right. But so help me God if they have a bigger dick than us.
I will cry. And cry.
Yeah. There's nothing that you'll see, but I'll cry.
Yeah.
I find the sandwich segment enlightening.
Thank you. Thank you.
How's your hammer hanging?
Sandwich.
That's worse. As I'm an uncultured idiot when it comes to food things.
Didn't need to qualify it like that.
And the constant reoccurring of right-wing Elmer Fudd is fucking hilarious. Keep up the good work, guys.
Yeah, he hasn't been around for a while.
It's been a bit. It's been a bit.
I think it's a states' whites issue. You can't remove me from the ballot.
Oh, no. As a major Lost Boys fan, every damn time you guys mention the TV guide, I hear Grandpa saying, read the TV guide. You don't need a TV. I don't know what that has to do with the Lost Boys, but
Quote from Lost Boys.
oh, maybe. Which is usually true in the case of Supernatural, seeing as it spoils the episode nearly every time. I have nothing more to add. Thank you for time.
You're welcome.
Signed, an extremely tired 19-year-old window cleaner in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, Shawnee.
Wow.
Thank you, Shawnee.
Wow. Yeah. Thanks, Shawnee.
Well, goddamn.
Yeah, that's cool.
How's your hammer hanging?
Thank you.
All right. This episode, clip show, aired May 18th, 2013.
Yeah.
Written by, all on his lonesome, Andrew Dabb. What was that move? What was that? That wasn't a dab.
No, it wasn't.
I'm not sure what that was.
I think it was an alley-oop.
Oh, okay. God, you do know the kids.
Listen, I'm
You're
tired.
you're with
tired,
it.
man.
I'm just fucking tired, man.
It's been a long
It's
month.
been a long life.
Yeah.
With here, my friend.
Yes.
And this
I'll tell you
episode's
all about
directed
it when my
by Thomas
hammer
J.
hangs
Wright.
again.
Thank you.
Nice.
Directed by Thomas J. Wright. Viewed by an estimate.
Yeah, so you know it can't be Thomas J. Wrong.
Yeah.
It feels so Thomas J. Wright.
Yeah. It's the thing you said every time.
No, that's got to be the first time.
It's also
Joke from a different podcast, but I am Mr. Imagination.
I do like that did get picked up by the fans. This episode is viewed by an estimated
Oh, we were at 2.3 or something?
2.7.
Oh, right. We went up.
2.07.
Oh, sorry. 2.07.
Yeah.
2.1.
We are once again 2.07.
Oh, okay.
2 weeks in a row.
Didn't move the needle.
Not even a little.
All right. Well, there you go.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh,
Fuck. Well, save it for the other show, Mr. Imagination. Let's watch the promo.
please. It's a pretty good promo, but it does really highlight a thing that I'll probably say a bunch this episode, which is that this episode is like 4 episodes.
Yes.
Not necessarily in the bad way, but just in the like, oh, fuck, we're doing this too? Like,
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
So international titles. The title of this episode is the name for a classic TV episode format. In a traditional clip show, the writers use a throwaway plot to remind viewers of past episodes. This was helpful for catching up people since episodes weren't available on demand.
I think they
are today.
also use it to like probably underpay writers.
Oh, we're 100%.
Cut down on studio cut. They probably also used it to just like catch up, like on studio time if they ran like over or whatever. Who knows? The Friends always did a clip show like once a season or whatever.
Yep.
At least in the later seasons.
a related clip show piece here, which is that Stargate SG-1, which starred Amanda Tapping, Naomi.
Right, that's right. She was
had
on that.
plenty of clip show episodes, apparently. So here, the Supernatural team defies the classic format by continuing the season arc, but clips are utilized.
Yeah, that's true.
They do sort of use it, but also...
They do it a little bit, but then also, again, this episode, like, every 10 minutes this episode goes, actually, we're a different kind of episode.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's like a clip show of types of episodes.
Which is kind of...
And they're not episodes you've seen.
Yeah.
But then also sometimes they use clips.
It's kind of a mindfuck if you start breaking it down.
Yeah.
We've got 3.
We got 3.
Yeah.
Like our standard 3 now, like Finland, Germany, Hungary.
That's correct.
All right, what are we starting with?
Hungary.
Reused footage.
No.
They've gone a different route.
Yeah, they're not going for a play
Is it
on the
called,
title.
like Demon Cure?
No.
Okay.
But you're on the right path.
Okay, is it like Demon Knight?
Wrong direction.
Oh, okay. Evil Cure.
No. It is the third trial.
Let me do okay, fine.
It's the third trial.
Fine.
You were heading in the right direction, but
Yeah.
you were getting too specific rather than more
I
vague.
would have just kept guessing.
I know you would. Well, you can try now.
Okay.
The Finnish title.
The Finnish title is Another One Bites the Sam.
The Sam doesn't get bitten.
No, but like they
There's no biting
because
in
they
it.
died us watch.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
No, this is more specific, but the same thing that Hungary's doing.
Okay. Like the last trial.
That's correct.
Yeah.
The final one, the German title.
German title on the same track or doing
No,
something
and
different?
honestly, I get why they do clip show, and it's a good choice. But this might be a better title.
Okay. This one is like
It's slightly poetic.
okay.
It's 2 words.
Like saving people or like
Oh, that would be
something
cute.
like
No.
that.
The German title is Life's Work.
Oh
Yeah.
that's a great
Isn't that a
title.
great? I saw it. I was like, God damn, Germany.
All right, Germany. All right. I'll listen to what you have to say.
Good. So
I'll listen to everything you have
if-
to say.
with no delineation.
Yep. I'm sure it's all good. You get a pass from me, Germany.
If you dedicate your life to something, just saying, it will work out for you.
Yikes.
TV Guide describes this episode as Sam and Dean reunite with Castiel and discover a film in the Men of Letters files that could be the key to the third trial. Meanwhile, Crowley digs into Sam and Dean's past.
I mean, what a coy TV guide.
I know,
thing
it's
this week.
so like
This on the week that a review calls out TV Guide.
this on the week the
Yeah.
review calls up the TV Guide.
That's right, yeah.
But before we get into today's episode, why don't we open up Dad's journal and learn about some of the real world lore?
Let's see what the lore says about Nephilim.
Isn't it so weird that that's how they say it in this episode?
It is, because I'm positive they say Nephilim later in the show.
I'm almost certain
that
that they...
can't just be a Mandela effect.
No,
thing,
there's
right?
no way.
Right?
Yes.
I don't know what the actual sort of pronunciation would be. Nephilim is probably more right because it sounds harder to say.
Yes. Uncle Nephilim. Uncle Nephilim. Uncle...
Oh, sorry, I've got a cough. I've got a lot of Nephilim in my throat.
Oh. Nephilim. I barely know him.
I tried to Nephilim, but didn't have enough.
Is it half Nephil?
So, Nephilim is, well, it's a group that are referenced in the Hebrew Bible and stuff like that. The general interpretation and consensus is that they are the offspring of angels and humans. That there's these sort of magical half-breeds, basically.
Filthy little mudblood.
Easy. They lived both before and after the flood. They're referenced in a couple of different books of the Hebrew Bible. So they're referenced in Genesis, where it says, yeah, I can feel it Nephilim in the air tonight.
Nice.
I don't know, man.
Easy. Save it for
You'll be in my Nephilim.
You'll be an angel. That's better.
From the steel. So the Nephilim were
Those are
on
not
Earth.
Genesis songs, they're Phil Collins songs that we're doing.
Fuck. The Nephilim were... Fuck. The Nephilim were on Earth in those days and also afterward when the sons of God went into the daughters of humans who bore children to them.
Woof.
These were the heroes that were of old, warriors of renown. So that's from Genesis. In Numbers, it says, so they brought the Israelites to the un-Israelites an unfavorable report of the land that they had spied out, saying that the land that we have gone through as spies is a land that devours its inhabitants, and all the people that we saw in it are of great size. There we saw the Nephilim, and to ourselves we seemed like grasshoppers, and so we seemed to them. So this is a weird thing with the Nephilim, is that the Greek translation of the Hebrew Bible turns the word into like gigantes, like giant.
Oh.
So they're described often as giants, although it's worth noting that the Greek word for giant just meant that they were of like impressive stature and strength, not necessarily like super tall the way we use the word giant now.
Sure. Yeah.
But in general,
Like they're just great.
yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
And powerful and things like that, right?
Oz?
There are some, yeah. Ignore the giant behind the curtain.
Just a little curtain and a giant
The
standing
curtain's
behind.
like when someone comes out of the shower with a towel on, he's pulling all the little levers. Ignore the man behind the curtain.
Ignore the giant behind the curtain. Sounds like Drake, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I don't know what's been up with Drake lately. Is he grooming someone else?
No, just a video came of him jerking his dick, and he's got a gigantic dick.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this idea that the Nephilim are giants or whatever is out there. There's one kind of reading that I saw that basically said that like the Greeks maybe translated it that way because the concept of a Nephilim isn't maybe as impressive to the Greeks because there's all sorts of demigods in Greek mythology.
Yeah.
So to try to impress like that something like they were something special or different, but also kind of like morally abhorrent or whatever, they use the term like giants because the giants, the Cyclops, all these things are in Greek myth are like things to be killed, not like things to hang out with or whatever. Whereas like their demigods are their heroes.
Yeah.
And so there's a difference culturally between them. And so that was one possible explanation for why that would get translated. The etymology of the word Nephilim can mean a couple different things, but one possible one is the fallen ones. There is an interpretation where they are actually just literally the fallen angels are called Nephilim. But the broadest understanding is that one from Genesis, that they're actually the offspring of angels and humans.
Okay.
And there's another possible like etymology of it where instead of being the fallen ones, it's that there's some sort of special grammatical case that's used in the word Nephilim that it might actually mean like the ones who make others fall.
Oh.
That they have this sort of negative impact on the world around them or the people around them or things like that. Yeah, I mean they are considered to be unclean, not good. There's one thing I read where there was an interpretation that after the flood, God left a few Nephilim on earth basically to be demons.
Oh.
And do that job and that sort of thing. But yeah, essentially they're generally sort of unnatural, bad. That's the positioning of that because it requires angels to have been unclean, essentially, to lower themselves to humanity.
Though I thought humanity was supposed to intentionally be like above angels.
Well, yeah, I don't know, man. What am I, Mr. Wikipedia?
Certainly not today.
Well, no, I actually went to Britannica.
Oh,
Baby.
Oh my god. So
But
that's
yeah.
a Nephilim.
Yeah.
I don't hate that. It makes me so uncomfortable to say
Yeah.
it that way.
Yeah. You know, I got a real problem with all these Nepho babies.
That's good. That's good. Fuck, that's good. Maybe that's where that came from.
They got the divine spark. They got Negid life.
Yeah. They got to be taken down.
Yeah. Yeah. My problem with Nepho babies is that they're alive.
Sorry, that was funny. I just had to make sure that the thing didn't.
Should I do it again?
No, that's good.
No, here, let me take it again. My problem with Nepho babies, it's that they're alive.
We'll be back after this quick break.
Fuck, I oversold it.
And we're back. Time to get into today's episode. We begin, of course, with
Finally.
All right. Metatron.
Oh, yeah.
We know he's around. Yes. He's part of the crew.
Optimus.
Oh my god.
I don't know what I can't do Megatron voice. I also can't do an Optimus.
I was like,
voice.
yeah, hold on.
I don't know why I said it. Like I could do all the other ones.
Yeah, Bumblebee. I know.
I've got it covered.
I mean, I can do. Yeah, I was gonna say I could do Starscream.
Who can't?
Yeah, fair. But otherwise,
Autobots roll out. No, that's like no. Hang on. No, I don't have it. I don't have the gravitas, man.
It's the same as your Neil deGrasse Tyson.
It's the same as your Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, now do Neil deGrasse Tyson as Optimus Prime.
It's me, Neil deGrasse Optimus.
Yeah, Prime.
Neil deGrasse Prime.
Neil Prime.
Tyson. Kevin was kidnapped and then saved. Castiel, we got him back.
Baby.
And remember Abaddon?
I mean, how could I forget?
I mean, goodness gracious.
Yeah, if my TikTok algorithm consistently feeding me Donna from Suits clips is any indication, I remember Abaddon.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, I'm thinking I remember Abaddon.
And with that, we begin this episode in the now. Lost Creek, Colorado. What?
No, it was too lewd to be said.
No. You made too big of a reaction not to.
Wouldn't be encased in concrete.
Encased? Good Lord.
Listen, I'm not proud of
You're
it.
vile.
Well, I got nothing.
So imaginative. Lost Creek, Colorado. In a remote cabin, Tommy and Shelly enjoy their solitude until a growl interrupts them.
Yeah.
Tommy thinks immediately it's a Wendigo.
And also, like, how dare this show just use like Wendigo as this thing that they just like, oh, he was hunting a Wendigo over there. It's like, fucking show us. It's one of the coolest ones they had.
I know.
We see it in the first season and never again. We have to see so many goddamn vampires.
Was it just
one more Wendigo in 15 seasons? You don't think we could get one?
Was it just me, or did it look like the guy in the Wendigo costume looked like it was like a rubber suit that was like badly made?
Oh, like from
in the clips that we saw?
It did a little bit more than it did when
right?
we watched the episode.
Right? I
don't know if it was that they like
mastered it,
color graded it or something, because now like the show's in a higher definition than it was then or something. I feel like something happened to it. It did look cheaper.
Totally. Well, so if you don't know, this is Tommy from season 1, episode 2.
Yeah. Who could forget?
I mean, how could you?
Yeah. The episode was called Wendigo.
Yeah.
Or Wendigo. I don't know why they're pronouncing it that one.
Wendigo.
Wendigo.
Despite Shelley's criticism, Tommy retrieves a gas canister to confront the creature.
Well, because they're like getting close, and then he's like, "Do you hear that growl?" She's like, "Oh, maybe there's a bear outside." She goes like right to the window.
He's like, "Get the fuck away from the window!"
You kind of deserve whatever's coming. And he's like, "It's a Wendigo. I'm gonna burn the motherfucker."
Yeah, lights this torch,
but then he like starts like grabbing his head. He's like, "What's happening to me?" And he's like bleeding out of his ears and eyes and all this kind of shit. And then his head just fucking explodes.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Classic Supernatural.
And then bloody neck stump and that. Oh, great. Great
I was
effect.
worried that they weren't going to show it, and then they did.
Because they don't actually show the head explode. You see
just
him
see
lean forward. We get a classic splatter.
Yeah.
Spatter.
against her face.
Yeah, a rose such a spatter. And then we get a bloody neck stump. Which is
rose
great.
such a spatter feels like a thing from like a horror Christmas movie or something.
From like a horror Christmas movie.
Oh, right. Jesus.
A rose such a spatter.
We then begin with the episode.
Daddy, what is the matter?
What is with you
I
today?
don't know, man.
We're in the
I'm
bunker.
also in 4 different episodes.
Amid the vast archives of the Men of Letters, Sam and Dean comb through the historical records of demonic possessions.
Yeah, because they still don't know what it means to cure a demon.
No,
Like,
and so they're just trying to find any record
Like,
of something.
What? Yeah.
Yeah. It is mentioned in this moment that the files on possession occurred many years in the past, and they have records both on Lizzie Borden, famous for the accused murders of both of her parents, and Ichabod Crane, who was the inspiration for the legend of Sleepy Hollow story,
Yes,
which I actually didn't know was based on a person.
Is Ichabod Crane real?
I mean, as much there's
Like at some point there was an actual Ichabod
I'm
Crane.
guessing because they say it in the same breath as Lizzie Borden, and so I would assume.
Yeah.
And it says
Interesting.
here it was the inspiration.
I actually think it kind of, like in the way that I like the Benders episode, I think it kind of robs us of the humanity's capacity for evil if everything was a demon. I think Lizzie Borden could have just done it.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. It's not like Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her father 40 whacks with help. That's not how the poem goes.
I mean,
Easy.
kind of.
Well, no, she gave her father 40 whacks. She gave her stepfather
40 spats.
Oh, no.
Their banter is cut short by Castiel's arrival, who discusses his...
I like this bunker.
very organized.
Yeah.
Very orderly.
Yeah.
Who discusses his slow recovery and Sam's worsening conditions from the trial.
Hang on a second. The Men of Letters have only been gone for like 50 years.
Yeah.
Fucking Cass. He never tells them anything.
Yeah, but also...
The angels would know about them.
Would they, though? Because, like...
Wouldn't they?
They didn't know anything about angels until the show started.
But the angels would know them, even if they didn't make themselves known, right?
I guess?
I mean, reasonable that Cass wouldn't necessarily.
He doesn't
Cass
fucking know
really
anything.
had his head in the sand.
He was pretty disconnected.
Yeah.
Despite Castiel's apologies for past betrayals, Dean coldly rejects his offer to help, citing a deep-seated mistrust.
I mean, listen, we got to pick a lane, Dean. I do like that this show goes like Dean and Sam have fought enough. Now Dean and Cass need to fight.
Yeah.
Like they really turn
Yeah,
to be like
yeah.
Cass and Dean have this thing.
I do like that Castiel's like,
Dean is so understanding for Sam. He's like, "Oh, I'll go make you some food and blah, 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 blah. It's okay, bud. How you feeling? No, it's all right. I'm looking out for you." He's like, "Cass, when are you going to stop betraying us?"
I mean,
Like,
he might even be worse than Sam sometimes. Like,
but Cass is, here's the thing with Cass though. He's just so dumb.
yeah.
Sam should know better.
Yes.
And they have explicit conversations with Sam, and he's like, "I'm still going to do the thing."
Yeah. No, I know it's the wrong.
Cass is just dumb.
Yeah.
He's just too naive for his own good.
That's true.
You know, like I think maybe that's why I'm slightly more forgiving of Cass.
Fair. Dean
Also,
notices.
big Destiel head.
I mean, there you go. Dean notices Sam's fatigue, brings him a makeshift meal from what's left in the kitchen.
I do like this because we've had this runner of Dean like being
Cooking
like
and-
into cooking and stuff, and then he just brings like a peanut butter cup and like a piece of jerky.
Yeah. and a half-drunk beer.
it's such a like shitty thing. He's like, "Well, we haven't done a run in a while. Fine, I'll go get food." I was like, "I'll come with you. I'll go to the grocery store." He's like, "No, you've done enough."
So the Winchesters then discover a note pointing them to investigate room 7B for information on case 1138, a class 5 infernal event
Yeah, that's right.
in St. Louis, 1957.
Yeah, and Sam's like, "Yeah, the Men of Letters have this rating system. The Exorcist would be class 2."
Yeah, which is very funny that like it's like,
I mean, and I like that, but also when we see this event, it's like that's not a class 5.
fair.
if Class 2 is The Exorcist, that's basically what we watched. Maybe Class 3. Class 5 would be The Apocalypse.
Sure, yeah.
Surely.
If it's on a 5 class rating.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm assuming it's out of 5 because our show's out of 5, and I figured that's probably how they did it.
Yeah, it would make sense
to match us.
So 1138, that number, which is a nod to George Lucas's first film, THX 1138 from 1971. The number 1138 are also seen throughout the Star Wars universe.
That's right.
The file's peculiar note, weird with 3 exclamation points, piques Dean's curiosity.
Yeah. So they go down to room 7B.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, baby. We've got a set budget.
Oh, my God.
We're building new spaces.
Spaces that stay.
Well,
so
that's
they
what
can be good.
That's what I mean. Where it's like, we got room on the lot, baby.
So
we got
Finding the file, Dean uncovers this hidden room inside by moving a shelf.
Yeah. They have and he discovers it's like a fucking like torture suite. There's a big demon trap like built into the ground. There's all these chains with runes and.
How do you feel about his reaction to it?
Dean?
Do you think that it's like
he's a little too into it?
Is it a sex thing or a torture thing?
I mean, it might be both. Because I think it's definitely. Well, I see what you're saying.
Because he was like, it's torture, huh?
I would character-wise, I'd be like, it must be because it's a torture thing. But the way he plays
this is what I mean. Yeah.
Kinky.
Yeah. And I'm just like, because I mean, look, Dean's got, but then also it's like Dean has a long history with torture. Like, is he really still getting like fucking up about it? Like,
yeah. It's a slightly weird moment. I didn't hate it.
No. I don't.
It is maybe vaguely out of character because we did make a big deal of like, I don't want to have to do this. I don't want to be this. And then he's like, oh.
But like, also he's pointing that energy towards Sam, which is even weirder.
I mean, in any other show, I'd say it was weird.
But the show's like, hey,
this show, it's like, I don't know. Will they? No, we couldn't. Anyway,
it's forbidden. You never want to do something sexual that's forbidden.
Yeah, you want this. Yeah. That's gross of you. We didn't do this.
Unless you actually do.
Unless you liked it.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. So among the contents, they discover a film reel inside of the notes, inside of the file that Sam finds. 11:30.
That's right.
Setting up the found projector, they watch a black and white film showing a unique exorcism. The footage reveals Josie Sands, whom they recognize as the meat suit for Demon Abaddon.
But here's what, so we've already had one type of episode, which is we saw Tommy, we saw clips from Wendigo.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. We go like, okay, we're doing little flashes back and forward. That's cool. Now we're in type of episode number 2, which is it's story time for the Winchesters, but instead of just watching them watch it, we go into the story, but it's got the filter of
yeah.
So it's like, oh, we're in story time. That's almost more like
you're in one of those memory vials in Harry Potter.
It's like that, or it's almost more like what we've got from like the Golem episodes. Like we're like, and back then this is what happened. Then you flash back and we see it or whatever. So we're in like this is the second type of episode that we're in so far. This episode is we watch this old priest and a young priest do this exorcism, and the old priest like cuts his hand.
Yeah.
He's saying all this Latin. He puts the hand of the demon's fucking chest explodes.
It's pretty fucking nuts.
It's crazy. Yeah.
And Sam and
Sam's like, I know I'm only pre-law, but I know he said the Latin wrong.
Yeah.
What he said means this, which is, I mean, listen, it's fine. It makes me laugh every time Sam has to just know everything.
Yeah, Dean's like, Jesus Christ, Sam, you're glistening with pre-law.
Dean wouldn't be able to tell that.
Yeah.
That's a Metatron ability.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah,
I can see you glistening.
Yeah, Dean has to taste the pre-law on him. So only he'll know.
Good Lord.
Sam and Dean then travel to St. Louis to consult with Father Simon regarding Father Thomas's exorcism methods, because they're like, oh, the one guy died in like the 50s, but
yeah, the old priest,
the young pope is still alive.
Yeah, young pope is still alive.
Yeah. Father Simon shares that that Thompson believed in the possibility of saving demons by restoring their humanity. He recounts the incident where a demon escaped during one of Thompson's experiments, leading Simon to withdraw from further participation.
Do we also learn the thing about demons in this bit?
No.
No, that's in a later scene.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Shortly after these events, something violently killed Father Thompson.
Yeah. And they're like, fuck, well, we got to try this or
Totally.
whatever.
So we then cut to
Or learn more about it, at least.
Yeah. Castiel decides he's going to go for a supply run in town.
Yeah, he's going grocery shopping.
It's such a funny scene.
Dude.
Yeah,
him just like walking around, just like cracking one egg and letting it just like fall on the
Yeah, him doing a real fucking like Encino Man situation. Yeah.
100%. It's very much that kind of thing.
I love him picking up a Busty Asian Beauties magazine.
From a spinner rack at the counter.
Yeah. Not just
It's not like behind the beach
No,
or something.
no.
It's like, oh yeah, come on in, kids. There's gum there. There's sodas over there.
Superman
Tits
issues.
right
Yeah.
here.
Asian tip.
Asian.
A running gag of Dean never getting his pie continues here in this episode because Castiel goes to get pie and there isn't any in the case.
Well, yeah, and he's like, "Where's the? I need the."
Grabs him by
pie."
the shirt collar. It's so funny.
Yes, I would say this is like a type of episode 0.5.
Sure.
It's not a full type of episode, but it's a like
Fish out of water
a
Castiel
fun
moment.
diversion Castiel one.
Sure. And who is it that interrupts him but Metatron?
Yeah.
And he reveals that there's an urgent need for them to discuss the situation in heaven.
Can I tell you, when they walk outside and across the street, I was like, it's happening. We're here.
Oh,
Like,
really?
That image in my head, I was like,
really?
oh yeah, that's like burned in. I was like, oh, this is where it happens. This is where it happens.
In the room where it happens.
Yeah, but it was the same the way that I felt about the room with all the books last episode, where I was just like, I realized like how much Metatron.
I mean, I remember.
I'm like, oh, I'm in it, baby.
Mhm.
So yeah, he's like, listen, I've heard of you, Castiel, and Castiel's like, I'm such a piece of shit. I really fucked everything up, and no one will forgive me, and maybe I deserve it. I don't know. And Metatron is like, listen, it's bad up there. He's like, Naomi's in charge. He's like, she's in charge of like a bit. There's factions.
Yeah.
It's war. Like, heaven's broken. He's like,
Why don't we just have a lunch together?
yeah. He's like, meet me in wherever the fuck for lunch.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah. So
For
back
crepes.
at the bunker, Dean and Sam watch a film reel showing Father Thompson's last experiment before he dies.
Yeah, and again, we're cutting like into that past, but still with the grainy, like black and white thing. But in this one, he's
A possessed man, Peter Kent.
and he keeps asking this demon, like, what was it like when you ate the children or whatever?
Yes.
And he's like, I fucking loved it. And then
The first one he says was, it's orgasmic, which I don't love.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess
yeah.
it's a demon, but
and the priest like injects something into the demon.
yeah.
And they're like, oh, Sam's reading. He's like, it was his own purified blood. Like he went to confession first and then he did this.
Mhm.
And then it's like, we keep cutting forward. It's like hour 3, attempt number 4. Like,
Hour
what was
12,
it like when you ate the children? He's like, I love that, you piece of shit. And he keeps doing it. And then we get to like whatever it is, like 19 hour or some crazy thing.
Yeah.
And the demon is like, stop, please stop. And it's like shaking and stuff. And he like does it again. He's like, it's time. And he does the ritual and he cuts his hand and he does the thing again. But this time the demon doesn't explode. This time he actually like purges the demon.
Well, his like eyes go clear, but it's not the guy in him. It's still the demon.
It's still the demon. He just made him not evil.
He like he purified all of the
He
shit.
like made his soul human again.
I mean, this is the thing that we've learned in the past about demons, which is that like they're just ghosts that get fucking like tortured so long that they turn evil.
Well, this is what I mean. I wasn't sure if we knew this already.
This is the thing that we learned with Dean, because Dean was basically like, and we learned about Crowley that he was a human.
Yeah. We've learned it about Meg. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Demons
yeah.
are all like human souls that eventually like just can't take it.
Just get
anymore.
so corrupted that
Yeah.
they basically become these evil beings.
But he basically like turned his soul back to human. And he's like, what was it like when you ate the tree? He was like, I don't know why I did it. I don't know why I did it. And they're like, holy shit, did he just turn a demon into a human? They're like, that? He cured him of being a demon?
which is nuts, because they also still like he's still
It's tantamount to eugenics, but
what
it's kind of eugenics, isn't it?
is it?
I don't know.
It's
We're going to cleanse them of being demons?
I mean, but they're going back to what they were.
I guess.
I mean, there's worse things. I'm. This is not water we should be treading in.
No, we should stay on this, I think.
I don't.
Let's really figure this out.
I don't love this.
Let's hammer it down.
But anyways, we then cut back to Metatron. Castiel has lunch with Metatron.
Yeah. They're sitting for lunch, and this waitress comes up and is like, "What can I get for you?" And Cass is like, "Just coffee, black." She goes, "Oh, I like your coat. It's very cool." He's like, "No, actually, it's quite warm." She's like, "Oh, he's so funny," or whatever. And I do like Metatron being like, "I should have picked a more handsome body."
Yeah,
Like,
why did I choose Booger?
yeah. He just is in charisma.
Yeah.
People are like, "Oh my god, Booger." He's like, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that would be a little bit
fucking
funny,
incredible. I'm sorry. I'm actually disappointed they didn't do that, but
that would be pretty funny.
But Metatron presents a bold plan to shut down heaven in response to its ongoing chaos, starting with the first
It's like,
trial.
you know, the Leviathans get out of hand, you jam them back into purgatory. If the
demons act bad
shut
on
off
Earth,
hell, but like the angels are misbehaving, so why don't we just like lock the gates to heaven for a little bit? And Cass is like, "What?" And he's like, "I wrote it all down. I know what the angel trials are."
yeah.
And you're like, fuck.
And unfortunately, Castiel is the most gullible
He's like,
person in
well,
existence.
I suppose I should be the one to fix it if I messed it up.
Just
But every time I thought I was fixing it, I've messed it up. But surely this time will be different.
Yeah. When I trust anything other
I
than
still
the
don't know what a
Winchester,
fucking egg is, but I'm sure I can handle this.
yeah. Anytime I go against the Winchesters, I'm wrong. But they don't know about this. I'm sure it's fine.
Better to ask forgiveness.
Yeah. Again.
Yeah.
I'm already in the doghouse.
Yeah.
In for a penny, I guess.
Yeah. Sam shows up. I heard doghouse.
Yeah. Why do you have a sledgehammer?
No reason.
Yeah. And Impala's right behind you. They don't have a house to get into. It's easier to run them over. Despite the gravity of the task,
Is there a dog angel tablet? Can we close the gates to dog heaven?
all dogs.
So all dogs stay with Kevin.
So Metatron says all they need to do is
Do you have to kill an angel dog? I'll do it.
Sorry, Marv says,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. His like human name is Marv,
which is very
great,
funny.
yeah.
He says, "Look, the first task. I don't know if you're ready for it." And Castiel's like, "I'm a soldier. I could do anything." And he's like, "You just got to kill this Nephilim," which happens to be that waitress.
Yeah,
I hit
that
on
waitress. She's a Nephilim. I love the way he plays her as like an abomination. It's like she's like not even like a real thing.
You. Yeah,
It's like, this is kind of an easy one. But Cass is like, "Why don't you do the task?" He's like, "Well, I'm not really cut out for that. I'm a
secretary.
I'm an office
Yeah.
jockey. You know, like, but you're a warrior." It's like big, strong Cass. And Cass is just so easily manipulated.
It's unbelievable how easily manipulated.
So this
he
is type of episode number 3, which is like big cosmic bad stuff going on.
Castiel listens, torn between his desire to fix his past mistakes and the moral implications of Metatron's proposal. Meanwhile, Dean and Sam consult Father Simon and Father Thompson's unique exorcism ritual. Father Simon, deeply moved by past events, hands over Thompson's personal belongings, hoping it might aid the Winchesters in their quest.
We have such a clunky, like, halfway through, we're like, yeah, what do you know about this, blah, blah, blah. And I do like that this priest, because he's seen this stuff, he's like, well, everyone knows that a demon is just a, and he's just talking about it with them, and like, that's kind of fun. But then Sam like you can tell off camera, someone's like, be sick. And he's like, oh,
Yes.
and he's like, oh, I need to go. He has to do like the TB
Yes.
cough and fucking walk off.
He's got the consumption.
And then the priest is like, is he okay? And Dean's like, I don't know if we'll ever be okay, or like whatever the fuck he says.
And he's like, but he's gonna shut the gates to hell.
Yeah, we're gonna kick hell's ass like we always do. You kind of want this priest to be like, who are you?
Well, he does go, that guy
Yeah.
is gonna do it, and he's like, look, Sam's done things I never thought he could do.
Yeah,
This past year. So.
normally to dogs, but I'm sure it's applicable.
Yeah, he likes to close the gates to dogs.
Yeah.
Like metaphysically, yeah, but
No, like on their necks.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
shit. Like he lets them get a little bit in, then he slams that gate.
yeah, Jesus Christ. So they now realize that they have all of the information to do this ritual.
Yeah, they've got the tapes. They know that they got to purify the blood. They know what the incantation is. They've got all the
They
stuff.
just
So
need a demon.
They need a demon, and so Sam's like, I guess we got to catch a demon. And Dean's like, or we just have one already. And so now we're in another type of episode, which is
a crossroads demon or
a sort
something.
of like a classic, like we need something from a demon. Here's your trap. Here's your whatever kind of thing. So they have to John Wick Abaddon out of all of this cement.
This is a funny thing that that I think someone in a past a fellow hunter has sent us a note about in the past.
Okay,
that I don't think I ever addressed, but somebody once asked us, which was like, why? Like, it would be why you're gonna start with a demon? Why go after a fucking knight of hell?
it would be so much easier to just summon a crossroads.
Yes, like why start from like the most devout, powerful demon type? It doesn't make a ton of sense. Like I get why they're like, we already got one, but it's like,
I know.
yeah,
but
we just have to
one.
we just have to drill through
You
some.
know what? I got this great idea, Sammy. Why don't we just open the cage?
Yeah, jeez. We know there's a fucking angel and a demon down there. Yeah.
But still.
Deciding on Abaddon as their experiment subject, Sam and Dean exhume Abaddon's dismembered body, left in such a state after Henry Winchester's death.
Yeah.
They decide they're going to sew her back together.
Not with her hands.
Too bad.
Easy. Easy. I mean, she's
Good Lord.
yeah, she's so hot.
I mean, that's also...
Abaddon, all hope, ye who enter here.
Do you know who could pull off Abaddon? Like the look?
What do you think you were pointing at?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
What the fuck?
You know what I meant.
Pointing at my daughter's room? What the fuck? That is
I don't know what part of the house we're in.
unbelievably fucked of you to do.
We didn't know what part of the house we were in. I met your wife.
That would have been a normal thing for you to say.
Yeah, you could talk about how
This is fucked. I can't believe this shit.
So
We might as well keep going, though.
they reassemble.
We have a podcast to do.
They reassemble her, but leave her hands unsewn on.
Yes.
Separated as the other
Yeah.
word for that.
The medical term. Hey, can we leave these unsewn on?
Ensuring she remains powerless, but with the devil's trap bullet still lodged in her skull, it should keep her in place.
But shouldn't they do just the one extra step of putting her in an actual devil's trap?
Yeah, or
They just have her in a chair and they're like, I'm sure that one bullet's fine.
what could happen?
The totally experimental thing we
Yes.
made.
Or you know how we didn't put her hands on? We still exhumed them and put them on the table next to her.
Yeah, should we lock that? No.
I'm sure it's fine. What is she going to do? The thing
What's she going to do? Be a demon about it?
Upon awakening, Abaddon's mockery and revelations about her past actions underscore her malevolence and the historical depth of her threat.
And she's like, you think I don't know what you're doing? I know about this priest and his wacky fucking idea. So hell sent me to fucking kill him. And right before I killed him, he told me about what's-her-face that I just wrote into the men of letters and I slaughtered them too. Because I'm Abaddon, baby.
It's true.
And then Dean is like, oh, I'm getting a call
From Crowley.
And then they both just leave. They're like, I'm sure this is fine.
But I do like the moment where they're like, I gotta get a call from Crowley. And Abaddon's like, Crowley, the salesman?
Yeah, and they're like, try the king of hell. And I do like her like, what the fuck did you just say?
Yeah. Because it's like, that is not, because we don't really get a lot of Knights of Hell. Like, we don't really get to see.
It's true. I think we only get 4 of them through the entire show.
Yeah.
And one is Azazel and
Yeah.
one is Abaddon. I don't think we've seen any others.
And so she's incensed. The brothers then step aside to talk to Crowley, leaving Abaddon unattended.
Hello, boys.
During this call, Crowley mentions his droogs, which is a reference to Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
Crowley calls and introduces a new level of threat for them, in which they're going to kill. He's going to kill everybody that the Winchesters have ever saved in 8 seasons.
Yeah, and then we're like, oh, right, the clip show thing.
Yeah.
So now, like 25 minutes in, we're like, oh, yeah, the clip show.
Yep.
And he's like, here's an address or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And so Sam and Dean are like, fuck. And then they go back in, Abaddon's gone because in the meantime, she's used her demon powers to have her hand come out Thing style and pull the bullet out of her mouth. And then she escapes.
Yep.
And we're like, well, shit, that went poorly.
Big surprise. Arriving now in Indiana, they discover Jenny Klein, previously saved from witches, dead in her oven.
Yeah.
Showcasing Crowley's ruthless strategy.
So we're back to clip show. We get a little flashback of when they saved her and stuff like that. But then, just like she most Sislacked. No funeral.
Yes.
Yeah.
Successfully.
Yeah.
Sam and Dean originally saved Jenny in season 7, episode 5, Shut Up, Dr. Phil.
Right.
Crowley then threatens to kill everyone they've ever saved, one every 12 hours, giving them an address because he's like, look, I knew you guys are going to, I'm telling you to give up, but you're never going to fucking give up. So here's one you can save. Go and try to save
12
her.
hours or whatever he says. Yeah.
We then cut to Castiel and Metatron outside of the restaurant.
Yeah, like at night, and they're like waiting for this waitress, and Metatron's like, "Are you good?" And Cass is like, "No," and he's like,
"Let's go,
we're doing it."
And so they confront the Nephilim waitress,
and then she goes like, "I know who you are. I can see your halos."
Mm-hmm.
And
halo,
and Metatron keeps going like, "You're an abomination," and she's like, "I just want to live my life," and Cass is like, "I know." But I just want to be good. Is what I'm doing good?
It feels good. I'm killing an innocent person.
And then the episode does a thing that bothers me, which is almost justify.
Sure, she goes like evil.
As soon as you can see that Cass is resolved to kill her, she goes like, "Oh, you're gonna try this? Here's my power," and she's like all saucy about it and stuff. It's like that wasn't. So she is a monster? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I kind of liked it played more ambiguously. Like, listen, these things aren't supposed to exist. She's the only one on Earth, and it's part of the angel trials. Like, it's not supposed to be easy for an angel. You're doing this. This is like part of the trials of it. Yeah. But then for her to just be like, "Oh, I'm bad," blah, 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 the way any normal supernatural monster would be, then you kind of go like, "Oh,
it's just killing a monster at that point."
It takes some of the thing out because when Cass does kill her, like they have to take her heart.
Yeah, and they don't even show that.
They don't show that, but Cass just kills her, and you go like, I guess that's probably for the best.
Yeah,
she seemed kind of crazy. I think it would have been better if she was just like, didn't fight, and Cass just had to do it, and he had to like,
yes,
I
agree.
I think that's one big misstep for me in this episode.
I think the only reason why they couldn't have done that version of it is
it's too
well, yeah, evil. and I think that Castiel's an idiot, but at a certain point, like he's got to like that's some real fucking like demon blood drinking fucking shit.
I know, but Cass is also the guy that thought that getting all the souls out of purgatory was a good idea. He's also the one that's like, is it one life or all of heaven? Like Cass is the king of justifying a bad idea.
Yeah. It just feels like so quick to do. Like that feels like that should have been the last trial if it was going to be that played that way.
Sure, but it's also that thing where it's like we had 2 episodes left of the season. We're introducing angel trials now.
I know. So now back in Indianapolis, the brothers are shocked to find Sarah Blake is the next target.
Absolute smoke show.
I mean, truly.
Is this an episode of Smoke Shows?
It is.
Yeah. It's the Nephilim, too.
Talking about demons, there's some smoke shows.
Nice.
Yeah,
smoke out shows.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. No. Yeah, less explanation is probably necessary to make it good.
Yeah.
Well, I know it.
Easy.
Speaking of Sarah Blake.
Easy.
they attempt to demon-proof the room and explain the situation to Sarah, sharing a moment of reconnection.
She's like way too chill about it. So she's the one from the auction episode.
Yes.
Which
Mr.
season 2 or
Isn't that Mr.
1?
Yamashiro?
No, Mr. Yamashiro.
Oh, no.
Is just his.
Oh no, this is the
mirror
little kid in the
emporium.
painting with the knife, right?
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
But this is from early season 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And
Season 1, episode 19, Provenance.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, Mr. Yamashiro is episode 5.
That's
Bloody
right.
Mary,
Yeah. I knew it was close. So I do like that she's like, you could see she's like holding her ring, being like, oh, fucking, if I wasn't married right now.
Yeah, she's like desperately trying to find the combination.
Yeah. She's like, if this thing could just fucking come off right now.
Yeah. And
Like-
Sam's like, that's new. And she's like, oh, this? You can ignore that.
Yeah. You've really grown the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like, yeah, you seem so like mature and capable and confident.
Yeah.
Things I'd never describe my husband. She's like, I miss that old hair of yours too, or whatever.
Yeah,
You know, like they're like, it's funny because like we haven't seen her since season 1. We're treating her almost like she's Lisa, but like
Yeah.
obviously Sam and her had a moment back then or whatever. But like we have this moment where I was convinced Sam was going to be like, yeah, so you have a family and a life. I almost had that. Well, I had it for about a year. It wasn't that good though, if I'm being honest. But
Random question.
I did talk about it a lot.
Random question. You don't have a dog, do you? Don't worry, not for long.
So at any rate, they're flirting so heavy. Yeah, Dean and Sam are like, yeah, demon proofing the whole place or whatever.
Crowley calls and is like, hey, so
Yeah.
you guys made it.
I do like his like 5, 4, like
Eins, Weins.
yeah, 3, 2, 1. And then
It's
and
good.
she just starts fucking dying, like choking and stuff.
And this.
And he's like, oh, I heard that Sammy like took her breath away or whatever.
so I
and,
figured out, it would be poetic.
and in this, yeah, Crowley's like, you know, it's the last trial and the first 2 were so demon related. I think I'm just not gonna let you get your hands on any demons. I was so yeah, they're like, you son of a bitch. And he's like, son of a witch, actually. Mummy taught me a few tricks. And I was like, oh, he's like, Mummy taught me a few tricks. And they're like, look for a hex bag. And they can't find it. And she just fucking dies. And Crowley's like, see ya. And then he hangs up. Dean throws the phone and the hex bag was in the phone. And you're like, that's fucked.
It's fucking it's fucked.
It's fucked.
It's diabolical.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Though. It's very, very sad. I mean, Jared actually plays this very well. And obviously it hurts them to see people they've saved, and especially people they had any connection with, die. And Crowley's whole thing is like, I think the only thing that gets you through the shitty life you have is knowing that these people are out there and they won't be for long.
It's so fucking good.
It's really brutal. And I all of that's good, but there is this thing where I'm like, we're sort of like, we have a sort of outsized emotion at play here where I was like, you might as well just superimpose Amelia's face on her at this point in the season, just to be like, remember her? Now this is how we're paying it off?
Yes. That would be the better choice in that way.
I mean, almost.
Yeah, except for that he didn't save her.
No. Well, I mean, he saved her the trouble.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
ultimately.
Yeah, like that's it. Like
it's really gruesome. It's bad.
Yeah. Back at the bunker,
and even Crowley just throwing the like, what is it again? Saving people,
hunting things,
the family business. And I was like, ooh,
goodbye, darlings.
It's brutal.
I also
really
love
good.
I do like when he calls them the first time and he's like, first question, what are you wearing?
Yeah. I love Crowley so much.
Like, what are you, the fucking RBC phone line?
Yeah. I mean, that's a joke only for us.
Yeah, that's, sometimes I like to throw one in just for you and I.
Yeah. What kind of phone is it?
That is so funny. Back at the bunker, Sam and Dean contemplate Crowley's ultimatum.
Yeah.
Sam suggests considering surrender, to save lives, revealing his weariness.
Yeah.
Dean, however, advocates for continuing their fight, posing a critical question of solidarity to Sam, who remains silent, indicating the depth of their dilemma.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you know, that camera holds on Sam and you're like, just nod, just nod. Cut to black.
Yep.
It's grim.
That's the end of this episode.
Yeah.
But before we talk about what we feel about it, let's take a quick break. And we're back.
Hello.
We're not looking at sports.
We're not watching the score of the Super Bowl right now.
No, 16-16. It just happened.
Well, yeah, but if you were a real sporto, you'd have the TSN thing running.
It's just expensive.
I don't pay for it.
Oh, no? Okay.
Baby.
And we're back.
Yeah, where were we?
What did you think about this episode?
So here's the thing. This episode, like I said, is like 4 different episodes wearing one trench coat. But sometimes when that happens in Supernatural, they do them all shitty. This one, in a weird meta way that I'm not sure I want to 100% say was deliberate, it's almost like we got the best, like, 11 minutes of 4 different types of Supernatural episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot fucking happens in this. We learn what the third trial is. We actually see a thing. We bring back Abaddon. We learn about angel trials. We're following Casa and Metatron. We're revisiting old adventures of the boys. Like, there's a lot happening in there, and somehow I think this episode pulls it off largely.
Oh yeah.
I still think they mishandle the Nephilim thing. I think that's a mistake. But otherwise, like, performances are good, the stakes are high, it really moves. Like, the energy of this episode, the pace of this episode is really good. It's such a brutal death. Like, the level of malice and evil in Crowley, like,
oh yeah,
like, when we had, what was his name, Alistair, you're like, well, we know what we're getting here. He's gonna like peel your skin or whatever. Like, it's kind of boring. And then Crowley is just like, no, I'm just gonna make your lives worthless.
I'm just gonna undo the last 8 seasons.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not even gonna fight you.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna make everything that you've built worth nothing. Your castle is built on sand.
Truly,
like, it's so much meaner and more evil.
Yeah,
so much more depraved and stuff like that. And I love when they do that with Crowley. Yeah, I mean, this episode fucking rocks. Both of the boys are good in this one. Yeah, I just dig this. And also, I'm right in where I'm like, oh fuck. Like, the first time I watched Supernatural, this is where I was like, they're not gonna. What do they do? What is happening? I was like, because it's all the lore stuff, the great levers. I was like, I think I probably actually didn't sleep the first night that after I got to Metatron, I was just like, oh no, I need to know what happens. Like, because I do think I lost track of like what is season 8, what is season 9 a little bit, because I was like, oh, that's here. I thought this was like,
this is also a thing that they don't normally do in this show,
I
which is like,
it was like, I thought this was like mid a different season to build to a,
because they don't really build into like the next season from a previous season very often. Like, I don't know if they've ever done that.
No, they haven't. They don't tend to. It's true. So I kind of lost track of it, and then so between last episode and this one, I was like, all these memories flooding back. I was like, I know exactly what's happening now. And I fucking love it. I'm having a really, really good time right now. So I think I might give this 5.
Yeah.
Actually, so I should dock it for the Nephilim thing. I should be fair here. But I'm going to give this 4.75 Nepho babies.
So good. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I think this... It's funny, was doing the notes for this episode. it didn't actually feel as disconnected as I think when you try to describe it.
Sure.
But as I'm putting the notes in there, I was like, oh yeah, they go from this place to this place to this place.
They pull it off because they're actually just rewarding you for having watched
Supernatural.
All these things come back and you go, great. But if you just like dropped someone in this episode, they go, what the fuck is like structurally it's a little weird. But because they do such a good job with all the things, you go like, well, no, this is like my nice treat for being a good fan.
Yeah.
You know,
it's what you wanted a clip show to be.
I mean, essentially.
Yeah, like that's how it should be.
In the kind of meta sense, they actually do kind of nail a clip show.
Yeah, and so I mean, for that reason, I think that it's worth it. But also, this is probably the best Crowley ever gets.
It's up. You mean like as an individual episode?
Like as a character, I think this is his sort of like peak. We're like jumping the shark bit with Crowley here.
Yeah, around here, I would say. Yeah. I think there's still...
there's a couple seasons.
I think we still have like a couple more seasons worth of like grade A Crowley.
But
it does...
It becomes different
off,
after this. He still becomes different after
I think
this.
after the first little bit of that season 10, I think we lose it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But I do like... I did really enjoy this episode. I love Abaddon. I love this version of Abaddon now. Her like Frankenbride sort of vibe here is really fun. She plays that type of character, like adding a bit more camp to her really plays off, I think, really well. And so putting her sort of like the leather jacket and stuff worked before, but now adding in this extra element.
And I do love like the idea of like who's in charge of
like, like
some shit is happening.
Where it's like somebody more powerful than Crowley and smarter than Crowley is about to come and deal with shit.
And probably with more prestige or clout or, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So I love that because that's a thing we haven't really, like Crowley, since he decided to take over, hasn't really had any, besides Lucifer, hasn't really had any like competition.
No, not at all.
You know, and so I really, really like that version of him. It may be the Leviathan, I guess, but even still, Crowley was sort of just like, all right, yeah, you think you're in charge? All right, well, we'll see how this plays. I still rule hell.
Basically.
Yeah, I think you're on the exact right page, which is I'll also give this 4.75 egg drops.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah, baby.
And those were our reviews for this episode. But before we go, we've got a note from a fellow hunter. We're going back a couple seasons here. Season 6, Episode 1, Exile on Main Street.
Ooh, okay.
Y'all laughed at the recommendation on the Canadian government's webpage about lawn care to use a tuna or pet good can on the lawn to determine how long to water it. But this is the actual method recommended by lawn care professionals. I work for a lawn care company down in Maryland, and the tuna can method is what we recommend to our clients.
Call it the chode method.
Yeah. I've been referred to as a tuna can. Cool. Wider than I am long.
That's cool.
Yeah.
A good thing to be.
The length of time it takes for a sprinkler to fill a tuna can is how long it takes to properly saturate a lawn. Nice.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's saturated.
I'd love to properly saturate your lawn. I know y'all appreciated specialized professional input, and weirdly enough, this is something I can confirm.
I actually do love that.
It's my favorite.
You thought the lawn care lord would never come back.
Yeah, no. This is the more specialized, the better.
Yeah.
Slowly catching up and enjoying every minute from Jackie.
Well, thanks, Jackie.
Incredible.
I love that. That's great.
Please bring us all of the specialized knowledge that you have.
All the time.
Ideally through these emails so we can read them, but if not, you can at least talk about it on the Discord.
Go to patreon.com/ghostfacers, and for only $1 a month, you can join Angel Radio, our amazing community Discord server. Meet a bunch of fun people that also listen to the show, also love Supernatural. And then at the $5 level, you could join the Men of Letters level, and you get the Bunker Report, a bonus bit of like Supernatural content every week from us. Sometimes we're watching the Winchesters. Sometimes we're talking about the Ghostfacers web series. Sometimes we're talking about ships and stuff. Sometimes I'm reading from a Supernatural novel. There's just extra bonus Supernatural fun time, and it helps to support us.
That's right. Also, if you want to send a note like Jackie has with your specialized note about a past or a future episode, or you just want to say how much you love us, You can send us an email at ghostfacerspodcast@gmail.com or reach out to us through our various social media platforms.
Ghostfacers Pod on Facebook and Instagram.
Don't forget to subscribe so that you can get our episodes automatically in your feed every single week. And while you're on that platform, why don't you give us a 5-star review, and we will read that on a future episode like we had today. If it's not on Apple Podcasts or Facebook, just make sure that you send a photo of us through that email, and we will read it on the future episode. Also, if you want your Nefo Baby t-shirt,
Hell yeah.
we have some merch that you can buy at ghostfacerspodcaststore.com. And if you like the content that we do here, you might like the more despicable but critically acclaimed content over on the Dr. DC podcast.
Yeah, Dr. DC podcast, we talk about DC comics and superheroes and comic books and all that kind of fun stuff. We answer listener questions. It's really, it's
really where some of us really, I think, spread our imaginative wings.
Listen. Go listen. It's a good show.
Yeah.
And I'm good on it.
Creative.
And at it.
Yeah. And I'm like the big hitter.
What the fuck?
You're speaking of.
Jesus. Go listen to our show. Please.
That's it for this week. Say goodbye, bitch.
Sure.